Alright, we got a Scars season. This is a video I'm recording for you guys. I'll upload it to my normal YouTube though, and anybody else that happens to watch it, by all means. But I'm gonna try and do a track guide for every track we go to on the schedule to just kind of help everybody out. I'm not telling you that this is the end-all be-all on how to be fast and that this is 100% the right way to do it, but it's a good place to start to at least make safe, successful laps around the track, I would say. So I start out here, I just do a 10-lap run, and then I do a 2-lap qualifying, like mock qualifying. This track did get an update in the latest patch to, air quotes, track surface adjustments. So in the past, the low line was always the just preferred line here. I think that they may have made the midline or mid groove a little bit more viable in some of the turns. I didn't bother trying their absolute high line. I don't think that's ever been the ideal line to use at Pocono, so I just didn't expect that to be one. So I'll walk you through the first lap, going a little slow, pointing out my brake markers and whatnot, and then I'll play a couple more laps early in the run. I'll probably play a lap at the end of the run since there's a little bit of drop off. It doesn't change too much, and then I'll play through the 2 qualifying laps at full speed. I'm gonna fast forward coming out of the pits here. Get us through turn 3 here. So front straightaway is the longest straightaway, I believe, in NASCAR, so getting a good launch at off of turn 3 is very, very important. Pocono makes it easy here. You got cones in the wall. It goes 3, 2, and then 1, and then there might be a stoplight up there. Turn 1, you're going to want to be out all the way against the wall. That's pretty much the entry for all these turns, and on exit, you're going to want to track out all the way to the wall. So wall, apex, wall, all 3 turns. So braking point that I use, and you're not using a ton of brake here, you're talking maybe 20% or so. I keep an eye on this first cone, or the 1 cone. I think early on I was braking at that. That's the safe place to do it. You can go a little bit further than that, and there may be a little bit more speed there. But as obviously I went past that. Alright, so there's where I'm even with the cone. Okay, so I'm pretty much between the cone and the stoplight here on the track. This was my first flying lap, so it may not be the fastest one. So experiment with it. Pocono also makes it easy. Turn 1, you're gonna notice these little like splotches in this groove right here. I think there's 3 of them. There's one here, there's one further up here, and then there's a third one late in the turn. So I really start committing back to the throttle when I hit this second one. At least on fresh tires, it stays the same a little for the most part on worn tires. Yeah, here's the third one, pretty much at exit. Again, that was my first lap in a long time here, so I probably didn't carry near as much speed as I could have. Again, there's 3 cones, 2 cones, 1 cone, and there's a stoplight right there. Or there's a stoplight, and then there's a 1 cone. And then it actually says Pocono on the wall, in black text right here. I start, again, very minimal braking, and turning in as I'm hitting this Pocono on the wall. I don't get to the absolute bottom here. Again, this track's all about speed. Again, 3 cones, 2 cones, 1 cone, same deal. I used a single cone as my point of braking. Get it to the bottom. I try and get my tires all the way down to the yellow line, and sometimes even below it. If you hit this little rumble strip, it's like when you're on the highway and you hit that stuff that alerts you when you're running off the road. Kind of the same thing. But down to there, pretty much as this pavement ends and it turns into grass, is when you want to 100% be committed back to full throttle or easing towards the full throttle. You can see I'm at 50-60% right here, and I was kind of at 50-60% up to this point. You're going to track really close out to the wall. Again, all about carrying the speed. So I'm going to watch this lap at full speed. See if anything changes with it. I know my line improved a little bit. See, I think I drove in too far there, and you can see I'm pushing way up the track. So I tried to go way past the one cone, and it was way too far. So definitely lost the speed there. Pocono on the wall, turn in, try and get it down to that yellow line. I did back out of it because I was trying to get to the throttle too soon. One cone on the wall, turn in, get it to the bottom, start committing back to the throttle some, back to full throttle, and push out towards the wall. I'll watch one more lap at full speed just to see how it goes. Truthfully, I don't remember. Alright, so I get way lower here. It actually gets loose and I have to correct it a little bit. See if my line through the tunnel turn or turn 2 is better this time. Yeah, so I get a lot lower, get the power down better than I had been. Alright, now I'm going to watch the 10th lap of this run and see if there's any differences. So at this point, I'm a little bit past the one cone. Going through that first box on the track, and I'm committing back to the throttle as I go through that second one. Track all the way out to the wall. In line with Pocono, get it all the way to the bottom. So that was a pretty ideal line. Just carry a lot more speed through there when you get it to the bottom. And I'm more down on the line here, but committed back to the throttle. Alright, so just for reference, after 10 laps, that's what my tires look like. 87 on the right front, 90 on the right, which is a pretty good split. That's going more towards burning the right front up more. Obviously, like those numbers to be almost dead even, or maybe even the right rear, because it's just probably going to get worse and worse as the run goes on. But just for reference, that's what my tires are at. Now I'm going to watch the 2 qualifying laps. This is after I had run a few laps, so I kind of figured out the line a little bit better. You're not going to want to drive this hard if you are at race pace. But for qualifying, this is just an example of a fast qualifying lap for me with minimal practice. So drove in pretty far. You can see I'm not using that much brake. I use maybe 50% right initial, and then I start trailing off of it. Hard back in the throttle. maybe 20-30% brake, and then just easing out of it, back into the throttle hard. This track is all about momentum. %50, then ease it back out. I'm already out of it at this point. Starting to get back into throttle a little bit before that box that I was talking about, just because it's qualifying, and you can do that. You just gotta be careful. It will try and snap loose on you. I think I drove a tick further in there. Gets pretty loose through the tunnel turn. I had to correct it quite a bit. I barely tapped the roll right there on entry. Obviously, you don't want to do that. That would invalidate a qualifying lap. But that's it. Let me know if you have any questions.